UFC Atlantic City is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. I won't keep you. Let's get into it. Starting the card off with the confident picks, and I do want to say before we get deeper into the video, guys, I have an entire video diving into each fight about as deep as I could possibly go with them, talking about odds, talking about fight styles, predictions, everything. This video is going to be a little bit more of a sum up. I'm going to be very brief with my picks here, and at the end, we're going to have a little bit more fun. So this is a more of a quicker style video, okay? That's very important to note. So if you're interested in seeing more long form, more in depth, check out that video. But Ruzy Boev is a very confident pick of mine. Long story short, guys, Cedricus Dumas sucks. He gets taken down easily. He's very, very easy to lay on top of. He doesn't do anything off of his back. Ruzy Boev's strength is taking people down. He's very powerful on the feet as well. I am very, very high on this guy and very confident in him to get the win. The next confident pick I have for you guys is Erin Blanchfield, guys. Manon Fiorot, I believe everybody is overhyping this girl like crazy. She's good, but I don't think she's the level of Erin Blanchfield. I think Erin Blanchfield will do what we know Erin Blanchfield to do: walk forward, throw some punches, take Manon Fiorot down, and beat the crap out of her. She's younger. Manon Fiorot is clearly out of her prime now. I think that Erin Blanchfield is only getting better, and I think she's going to do what she typically does in this fight. She's definitely another confident pick of mine. And the last confident pick I have for you guys is Julio Arce. Long story short, guys, Herbert Burns, you can't put money on somebody who has a heart problem. Herbert Burns has a heart problem. He wants to take you down and submit you. If he doesn't do that, he's garbage. He's useless. Julio Arce is a better fighter pretty much everywhere except exactly the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Herbert Burns has been off for 2 years almost, and he hasn't looked good in his last 2 fights. I think that Julio Arce should win this fight 9 out of 10 times. Moving on to the underdog opportunities, it is important to note, guys, that these aren't necessarily picks of mine. I'm just saying if you're looking for a specific underdog on the card, I think that this is the best chance that you will have to hitting an underdog that's not a just 50-50 fight. You know what I mean here? So the first underdog opportunity I have for you right now, and my apologies, I lost where it was on my sportsbook. There it is. Okay. It's going to be Andre Petroski. On my sportsbook, I use Betway. He is currently sitting at a plus 250 underdog. I think that both of these guys have similar fight styles. I will say I do believe Jacob Malkoun will win this fight, but it wouldn't shock me if Andre Petroski got the job done. Andre Petroski has taken on some really tough opponents. He's looked good in the UFC up until his last couple fights, and they have a very similar fight style. And when that kind of happens, I could see really anything happening. I could very well see Andre Petroski hitting Jacob Malkoun just the way we typically see Andre Petroski want to strike people. Both guys want to come forward. Both guys want to hit hard. Both guys want to take you down. Andre Petroski is very capable of winning this fight. And for plus 250, I don't mind that. The next underdog opportunity I have for you guys is going to be Joaquin Buckley. It was a little bit shocking to me, to be honest with you guys, when I looked at the odds for this fight, because I really did think Joaquin Buckley was going to be a favorite. He's sitting, at the time of recording this video, a plus 210 underdog, and with a guy with the power like Joaquin Buckley, who can change any fight, he's fighting a guy. Joaquin Buckley wants to hit you really, really hard. Vicente Luque is there to get hit. Vicente Luque definitely has more tools to win, but Joaquin Buckley can certainly change his fight with one shot. And over the course of 3 rounds, I think it's fairly likely that Joaquin Buckley lands a damaging blow. On top of that, you got to worry about Vicente Luque's health. Him having the brain bleed appears to be okay, but you never know, right? I just think the chances are there for Joaquin Buckley to win this fight. I wouldn't count him out one little bit. Moving on, guys, we have a few fights that, in my opinion, that you should avoid. And again, I'm going to be as brief as possible with this video. I want to get this information out to you guys as quickly as I can. I know I'm wasting time just saying that, but I'm going to do my best. We have one really long form video, one quick video. So, Ibo Alsan versus Anton Turkalj is going to be the first fight to avoid. Long story short, Ibo Aslan should be the better fighter. He should beat up Anton Turkalj just like the first time that they fought. He has no gas tank, Aslan. He has 1 round of gas. Can he finish him win 1 round? I don't know. He didn't last time. I can't put money on somebody who has a cardio problem. And the problem being he's very dangerous in the first round. So I'm staying away from this one. And honestly, guys, the next 2 fights is going to be Angel Pacheco versus Callan Logran. Long story short, I just think it's 2 pretty solid up-and-comers, and I think this is a pick'em fight. There's nothing really too specific about their styles. I just think both of them are good. Both of them are very promising, and both of them are very capable of winning this fight. I think this is more of a pick'em fight than a lot of fights on the card. And more of the same thing with both Connor Matthews and Danis Bazjuka. I think both guys are great. I think they're very evenly matched. It was perfect matchmaking by the UFC. This is going to be an absolute blast of a fight, and I don't see a clear path to victory for either guy. And the last fight that I believe you guys should be avoiding this time around is Chidi Njokuani versus Rhys McKee. Now, The big reason being Chidi's chin. He's 35 years old at this point, and recently he's been chinned just over 2 years, and he's been losing 3 in a row. 2 of those were KO losses. I know they were against good opponents, but at the same time, Chidi reminds me of Phil Hawes in the sense where he's so talented, so good at striking, he uses his range very well, and he oftentimes wins his fights until he gets chinned. It's unfortunate. I feel really bad for the guy, and I can see the same thing happening here because Rhys McKee is a great fighter himself, very elusive, very quick on his feet, very powerful. I see a world where Chidi is beating on Rhys McKee and then just getting chinned. I can't bet on a guy who's had a chin issue recently. He's 35 years old. That might not get better. So this fight, out of all of them on the card, I believe you should stay away from the most. Now, apologies for putting a little bit of a pause on the video, guys, but I do want to plug the channel membership in. If you are interested in seeing exactly where I'm putting my money where my mouth is, check out the channel membership. It is very cheap compared to other channels. I am really feeling good about this card. I love my bets. I already have a lot of them placed in. Every Thursday or Friday, I will upload a video before the event explaining my choices, explaining my confidence level, and then we have a betting recap video every Sunday after the card if you're interested in checking that out. Plus, if you want to check out OddsJam, which sponsored this video, which I really appreciate OddsJam for, guys. They are a fantastic tool, taking a look at all these different sports books, arbitrage betting. Check the link in the description down below, pinned comment, use code CLENBAT. You will get a discount on OddsJam. Thank you so much for being here, guys. The channel membership is very cheap compared to other channels. Keep that in mind. Let's talk lock of the week, though. Unfortunately, it's going to be Bruno Silva. Chris Weidman doesn't have it anymore. Since he came back with his broken leg, he looked slow. He looked old, hesitant, can't take a shot like he used to. Bruno Silva, when he's fighting somebody a little bit on the downside of level of competition, and I'm not saying, if we're talking about a Chris Weidman in his prime, that'd be a different story, but Bruno Silva will destroy Chris Weidman. If Chris Weidman wins this fight, none of us can ever predict any fight because this is officially the craziest sport in the world. It already kind of is, but Bruno Silva is my most confident pick in quite a little while. I already have a bet on Bruno Silva, and it hurts my heart because I'm a big fan of Chris Weidman, but there's no chance that he loses this fight. Now, guys, I'm really excited for this part because we're going to change it just a little bit. We're going to have, and this is going to be a little bit more focused on the fun part of the video. If you like taking a look at different odds, if you like betting over here, I'm going to be taking a look at parlays afterwards, but for now, I'm going to take a look around OddsJam because I've been using the tool OddsJam, and it's been very fun. I'm going to click on some of these fights and see if we have some over-unders that we like over here. It's showing the best that we've seen so far, just the money line and over-under bets. And again, this is a little bit more fun part of the video. We have Callan Loughran versus Angel Pacello. You know, I actually don't mind this one in particular to go over 2.5 rounds, but the problem being, at the time of recording this video, there are only over 2.5 rounds on most fights, and I don't like over 2.5 rounds. I like over 1.5. I'm a big fan of 1.5, so you get plus money for Callan Loughran and Angel Pacheco to go over 2.5 rounds. I personally don't mind that. Connor Matthews, Dennis Bajuka, over 2.5 again. I don't really love that one myself. What else do we have here? Julia Ars, Herbert Burns. No, thank you. Not a guy without a heart. No, we're not doing it there. Victoria Dudikova versus Melissa Gatto isn't a bad one. That's minus 200 to go over 2.5 rounds. I don't see a lot happening in that fight, and I actually might have that as a little bit of a parlay piece myself. Nate the Train Landwehr, Jamal Emmers, going over 2.5. I don't mind that either. I could see myself taking a look at these two fights and kind of parlaying them together. Lupita Godinez, I'm not feeling too good about that one. She could. Kyle Nelson does a good job of slowing down the pace of his fights. I could see that fight going over against Bill Algeo too. I don't really see a finish there. Maybe that would be very interesting to parlay together. Victoria, Jamal, and Kyle Nelson all to go over 1.5 rounds. This one to go the under is plus money. Chidi, if you want to bet on Chidi's chin going, that's a really tough one myself. That's a really tough one. And for the main event, we have Manon Fiorot and Aaron Blanchfield going over 4.5 at Pick'em odds. Don't love that myself. Same thing with Bruno Silva. I actually don't mind the idea of over 1.5 being at minus 106 for Cedricus Dumas and Ruzi Boev. I see a world where Cedricus Dumas gets taken down, doesn't do anything, and doesn't get finished. It's a very interesting card this time around, guys, and there are a few props I'm interested in. Again, like I said, Kyle Nelson, Bill Algeo. I don't mind that for props. Same with Victoria Dudikova. Other than that, I'd have to wait and see how these odds really stack up, but let's build some fun parlays this week. Like I just said, guys, this is a little bit more of a fun part of the video. I like playing around with parlays. It's too bad on Betway I have to wait so long for I was thinking about changing my sportsbook, actually, because I have to wait so long for these round lines to come up. Regardless, let's do what we usually do. You know what's funny? If you're new to the channel, my sister and I, every single week, we put 10 cents on every single underdog. Just because it's fun to cheer for the underdogs. Let's see what we get over here. Picking the underdogs for every single fight. What do we get over here? And oh my god, this is going to be a good one. We get $57,000. That's never going to happen, but it's always a fun thing to do. It's always a really fun thing to do. But what about some confident picks? If I want to put Aaron Blanchfield in together, if I want to put in Ruzi Boev, if I want to put on Bruno Silva, I think I like those three together. That's almost 3 times your money. I might do, well, if you're interested, guys, I actually already have a similar play to this, but not this exactly. If you're interested, again, check out the channel membership. But I already placed quite a bit of my bets, but I want to mix in some of the round lines this time around. There are a lot of single bets that I'm doing this week. There's a lot of value that I see in for parlay specifically. I don't know how much I love it, but you know what? Again, for fun, let's see what we can put here if I'm just going with straight picks. I don't care like how close the fights are, how if I'm ignoring betting on them. I just like seeing what we can come up with. So Jacob Malkoun, let's put Angel Pacheco, plus 325, man. That's actually pretty good. Bill Algeo, Reese McKee, Bruno Silva, Connor Matthews. I'm picking a lot of underdogs this time around. Jesus. Ebo Aslan, although that's a tough one. Julio Arce, Jamal Emmers. No, I don't know, man. I don't know. Nate the Train, Nuruslan Ruzi Boev, Melissa Gatto, Lupa de Godinez, Joaquin Buckley, Aaron Blanchfield. What do we get over here if we put $5? $15,000. I'm tempted. I'm tempted, man. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Just a fun bet over here. Let's see if we can stick with the $5 to get $15,000 over here. That would be absolutely insane if we could actually do that. That'd be really fun. But we have some fun bets like that. But that's definitely not going to be an official play. It's just for the fun part of the video, right? But other than that, there are a couple fighters I like putting together, like Bruno Silva, Aaron Blanchfield. You get some nice double your money over there, which is really cool to see. But for parlays this time around, I'll have to wait and see what the lines are. There's some fun stuff that we can do over here, guys. I see a lot of value in this week personally. I'm excited. Very excited. And very excited for the card in general, man. It's going to be an absolute pleasure to watch so many of these fighters, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the official full card breakdowns and prediction video that's on screen for you right now. I will see you either there or in the next video, everybody. Take care.